Welcome, well-disposed viewers. I'm Destor, and this is my 6 episodes tutorial of Phantom Doctrine. I will first go through the contents of each episode so you have an idea where to go to if you have specific questions where you probably will find the answers. And the first episode, which is this one, covers some preliminary thoughts of mine and the basic game setup. The second episode is where I will quickly play the in-game tutorial, so some basic gameplay elements will be explained there. But I've experienced that the tutorial does not really give the opportunity to show gameplay in depth because all your moves are predestined, so to speak. So you just click along what the tutorial tells you to do, and it's not really a good place to show in-depth gameplay. That will be in the third and fourth episode, which is basically the first tactical mission that you play after the tutorial. And in the third episode, which is the first half of the tactical mission, I will show you around the tactical map and some basic gameplay mechanics. And in the fourth episode of the tutorial, which is the second half of the tactical map, I will cover combat, abilities, and AI. And that is the biggie, so to speak, on the tactical level. So if you are experiencing difficulties with the combat system, you might want to skip to episode 4. And after that, in episode 5, I will start covering the strategic layer of the game, the facilities, and in the facilities and also the analytics board, which I consider a facility. And in episode 6, I will cover the strategy map. So basically, the first 2 episodes are introduction. The third and fourth episode cover tactical gameplay, and the fifth and sixth tutorial episode will cover strategic gameplay of Phantom Doctrine. And after that, I'm gonna continue playing this game, but then it's gonna spiral off into a let's play where I will still mention stuff I pick up along the way and get back to your questions and maybe answer what I can. But I thought I started out making a let's play and explaining a lot of stuff, and then I thought people that come here for advice don't want to watch the whole let's play episode, so I tried to get all the information into this tutorial episodes and group them somehow by context, so you will find what you seek, hopefully pretty quickly. Okay, the preliminaries I wanted to cover in this episode is, like I said, my name is Destor, and I just opened this channel, and this is actually my first tutorial and gameplay series. And the reason I started this is because I would consider myself a genre veteran. I've played XCOM, so I'm referring to the newer XCOM series of Phyrexis with Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within, and XCOM 2. And I've played Hard West, which is a game made by Creative Forge, the very studio that developed Phantom Doctrine. So this is not their first tactical turn-based strategy game. You might want to check out Hard West, which is set in a demonic Western scenario, which is pretty cool. But much like Phantom Doctrine, Hard West is not an XCOM clone. It is a game that has certain gameplay mechanics that are very different from XCOM, and so does obviously Phantom Doctrine. Because when I looked around the internet and the Steam reviews, there were a lot of different opinions on is Phantom Doctrine a good game or not. Basically, it was all mixed reviews. Some people saying it has great potential, other people saying The combat system is totally broken. You're gonna get shoot over half the map, and you can't really take cover, and there's a huge combat issue. Like I said, that is part of the 4th episode, and so I wasn't really sure if I should buy it, but then I took a leap of faith and went right ahead, because, you know, like Hard West, Creative Forge, this is not a AAA production, so it's not polished to the maximum. But then on the other hand, you're not playing the price of a AAA game. So I thought, what the heck, I'm just gonna try it. And like the first 2 hours or 3 missions, I was with the people saying the game is broken, because I really didn't understand why I was shot, how I was hit, and it really bugged me. But then somehow I flipped the switch in my head, and from there on it went pretty good. And I think I don't want to be esoterical here, but if you open your mind a bit and look at the gameplay mechanics, you just can't play Phantom Doctrine like you play XCOM. The cover system does work a whole lot differently. Avoiding and taking damage is a whole other system, and if you try to play this game like you would play other games in the genre, that does lead to really mixed results, as I have experienced so far. So that was my intrinsic motivation to start this tutorial series, and at this point I have a little disclaimer. While making these videos, at this point when I'm making the videos, I'm neither associated nor endorsed by Creative Forge, the studio that made this game, nor their publisher. So I'm just doing that to shed light on some issues and maybe increase the fun other players will have with this game. My ultimate goal is to do these tutorials and then end the campaign in a Let's Play series, and then do a second Let's Play with a different faction. I will show you in a second, there are different factions, and then have 2 or 3 gameplays before I make a whole review. So I want to do a video that takes into consideration all my gameplay experience, and that is basically a full game review that has answers I can't give yet. Like, is the game just fun playing it once, and then because it seems to be a very story-driven game, does it lose like what propels it, the fun in the story and stuff? Is it too repetitive? I can't answer that yet. That's why I want to do 2 or 3 gameplays before I can review it in a separate video. And these gameplay videos are also a good point where you might come in with your questions, and maybe we can work something out, and I can help you with whatever bugs you. At this point, I do not I've just been to the early mid-game, I would think, so 6 missions or something like that into the game. So I've not seen everything, and I will pick up some stuff along the way as well, but I am pretty set to give the tutorial advice, so if you're on for the ride, be my guest. So we're going to start with a basic game setup. And like you see here, there's a regular mode, which we're going to play, and there is an extended mode that is for the second playthrough. So there seems to be some effort to increase the replay value of the game, which is the reason why I think I can't give a complete review on the full game experience. Now I've, like I said, have played some, not a whole lot. And I would recommend, like I said, I'm an XCOM veteran, and I would recommend not starting on hard Iron Man, a thing that I'm usually prone to do, because I've been in the business for a while and nothing can really stop me. But since I'm playing more than one goal, I want to have something to step up to, so I'm gonna wait and take the hard mode the next time. And like I mentioned, I started my first game and I ran into rookie wall because of these combat issues, and it was not very enjoyable. So even if you consider yourself a real good genre member, you might want to start on medium and not necessarily take Iron Man, because reloading is really something that helped me keeping my nerves together when things went sideways, which, like I said, they did pretty quickly because I did not understand the combat system from the start. So, and then you see there are 3 factions essentially: the CIA, the KGB, and the locked faction, which I suspect you will see that in the introduction video in a second. Now, there is like the mysterious organization that we are basically tracking, and I think maybe you can play with the dark side. I'm very excited to see what this is all about. So I was saying I was gonna do 2 playthroughs, but maybe it's worth doing a third. And I'm really excited to see if the second and third playthrough will be as enjoyable. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on customization here. And fair warning, I am not a really big fan of customization. So if you look through here, you have 11 faces, average 4 body types, 16 haircuts and stuff. In all of these categories, it's not a whole lot, but for me, it's way enough. So I know there are games out there where you can like basically spend 1.5 hours just making the features of your face look a certain way. I'm not really into that, and it doesn't really affect my gameplay experience. If you are into customization stuff, it is pretty basic, but it works for me. And I think for 2 reasons that is very okay what they did. For one, if you start basically a new brand, and I don't know if this is like a single experiment, if they are planning to introduce this as a brand that will have a future gameplay or future episodes of this title. But like if you're launching your game, you don't want to waste a lot of resources on stuff like that. And the second point is, if you remember, for example, the very first Fire X is XCOM, so XCOM Enemy Unknown, that was pretty basic too. So I think it's okay for a new franchise to not waste a whole lot of energy on these customization options. You see, we can have our avatar, which Daniel Davis is, have him look somewhat like in the picture, and that is way okay for me. And yeah, but just so you know, it's not the most customizations, but they will do. And I'm going to start the game, and we're going to see the introduction video sequence, and I'm going to cut after that, and then the second episode starts with the basic tutorial. I hope you find whatever information you're looking for. Otherwise, post a comment or a question, and I hopefully will get back to you with the right answers. And now enjoy!
Golf Yankee Juliet uniform. Reporting contraband seized.
Understood. Break off patrol. Head back to base.
Товарищ, HMS Conqueror нарушил радиомолчание.
Что? Показать расшифровку. Побыстрее. Немедленно послать в Москву. Немедленно.
We got intel from Vladivostok. It's big, Steve.
Langley seen it yet?
No. Should they?
Hell yeah, but use the network. We don't want anyone listening in.
First the British, and now the Americans. Was there anyone else you wanted to involve in our plans?
I am handling it, Valhalla. Get out. Both of you.
Your incompetence has exposed us. Now Iceberg is in jeopardy.
Doing all of this in the open was your idea.
True. It was a simple plan that any fool could have executed. And you failed.
Gentlemen, this problem is easily solved.
Traitors!
Now, don't shout. It's bad for your heart.